One bright and shining morning, Peter opened the garden gate and sauntered across the meadow towards the forest. Peter couldn't really think of anything to do. He hadn't anyone to play with, and his only friends were the animals that lived in the forest. But sometimes the forest was just a little bit frightening. Near the forest was a large tree. Its branches stretched right over Peter's garden wall. It was a wonderful tree to climb. Peter often climbed it, and sitting on one of the lower branches was one of Peter's forest friends, a little bird. "Hello," said Peter. "It's a lovely morning. Shouldn't you be singing?" The bird said, "I've been singing since dawn, long before you got out of bed, but I don't mind. I'll blow a note or two, just for you." "You do sing beautifully," Peter said, "and I do appreciate it, but you must admit things are just a little dull around here, aren't they?" "I'm not blaming you, of course. You do your best to liven things up. But you can do what you like, can't you?" "Well, I can't. People always say no to me." "Don't do that, Peter. No, Peter, no." Until I just don't know what to do. Hello? Who's that? It's the duck that lives in Peter's garden. She toddled out through the open gate, and she had her eye on the cool pool in the meadow. She was feeling rather warm and longing for a swim. She waddled towards the pool with the little bird twittering around her. The little bird flew down beside the duck, chirruping and giggling. "You're a funny sort of a bird. You don't seem to be able to fly." And the duck quacked back, "You're a funny sort of a bird too. You don't seem to be able to swim. Ha, ha." And she slipped into the pond. duck and the bird began squabbling. The duck on the pond and the bird on the bank. You can't fly, Soppy. Ha 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 ha. You can't swim, Dafty. And they both got angrier and angrier with one another. Suddenly, Peter saw something in the grass. It was a large, creepy tabby cat, crawling carefully along with his tabby tummy close to the ground. The cat said to himself,
"Wow, that bird is so busy squabbling with that duck, he hasn't seen me. I'll just creep up on him and
and he went quietly creepy-crawly. Look out! Shouted Peter. The bird went whoo and flew up into the tree. That was a narrow squeak. The duck was very brave. She just quacked and threatened the cat from the middle of the pond. The cat crept around the tree and said to himself,
it's never worth climbing that tree, is it? By the time I get up there, that twitty dicky will have flown.
Forget it. And then Peter's grandfather came slopping out in his slippers. He was very angry because Peter had gone out into the meadow.
Look, I've told you before, it's a dangerous place. Very dangerous. Look, just suppose a wolf come out of the forest, eh? Oh, just suppose that. Well, you'd get gobbled up something awful. Come on home at once.
And he took Peter's hand, and off they went with grandfather's slippers going salip, salop, salip, salop, salip, salop, salip, salop. Peter had never known his grandfather so angry, or his slippers so noisy, going calip, calop, philip, philop, salip, salop, calip, calop, philip, philop, salip, salop, salip, salop, philip, philop. Peter thought his grandfather was making an awful fuss, but it was always the same.
Don't do that, Peter. No, Peter. No.
It was such a pity. He was so enjoying himself in the meadow with the little bird and the duck and the cat. But grandfather would not let Peter stay in the meadow. He took him back through the garden gate and locked it and said,
"Now, be a good boy and stay in the garden."
And grandfather went flip-flop down the garden path, his slippers smacking at his heels, philip, philop, salip, salop, philip, philop, salip, salop, calip, calop, philip, philop, salip, salop, salip, salop. And no sooner had grandfather gone Then a big grey wolf came slinking out of the forest. The cat spotted the wolf, went wow, and scrambled up the tree. The duck went wow, 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 completely lost her head, and like a fool jumped out of the pond right in front of the wolf. The duck ran as fast as she could, but she couldn't get away from the wolf. The wolf was getting closer, 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 catching up with her. And then he got her, and with one great gulp, swallowed her. And now this is how things stood. In the tree, the cat was sitting on one branch very thoughtfully.
Very interesting.
The bird on another branch. Not too close to the cat. And the wolf, still feeling very hungry, stalked around the tree, looking up at the cat and the bird with greedy, red-rimmed eyes. Now, Peter had been watching all this behind the locked garden gate, and he was fascinated. There was a wolf in the meadow underneath the tree, a real wild wolf. He ran into the garden shed, got a strong rope, and climbed up on the high garden wall. One of the branches of the tree stretched out over the wall. Grabbing hold of the branch, Peter leapt up into the tree. Peter said to the bird, "Hey, birdie, fly down and flap around the wolf's head and worry him as much as you can, only don't let him catch you." And away went the little bird. The bird tickled the wolf's ears with his twittering wings, and it made the wolf mad. He growled and growled and growled and snapped. And he growled and growled and snapped. The little bird had got the wolf in a frenzy because he couldn't catch him. And he just snapped and snapped and snapped. Up above, in the tree, Peter made a lasso of the rope, and carefully letting it down, he dropped the lasso over the wolf's tail and pulled it tight. The wolf could feel the rope around his tail, and he started to jump about, trying to get free. But Peter had tied his end of the rope to the tree. And the more the wolf jumped about, the tighter he made the rope around his tail. Just then, the hunters came out of the woods. They were following the wolf's trail, and they had their guns loaded. and the hunters started shooting. But Peter, sitting up in the tree, shouted out, "Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Look, we've caught a wolf. Birdie and I caught him. Don't you think we ought to take him to the zoo? Will you give us a hand? Let's tie him to a pole." And when the wolf was safely bound up, Peter said, "I know. Let's form up into a procession." And what a procession it was! Peter out in the front. After Peter, the hunters carrying the wolf on the pole. Winding up the procession, the cat and grandfather in his slipper sloppers.
It's all very well. It's all very well. But suppose Peter hadn't caught the wolf, eh? Ha-ha. It would have been a very different story. A very different story.
everybody. The little birdie chirruped. Ha, 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 ha. Just look what Peter and I have caught. Would you believe it? We've had a lovely day. The only ones who didn't have a lovely day were the wolf and the poor dead duck, although someone did say they could still hear it quacking inside the wolf. Well, you know what ducks are.